You're watching MLB Tonight. 30 clubs, 30 camps on MLB Network. Cliff, you were a first-round draft pick of this franchise, but they were known as the Expos back then.
Yeah, totally different environment. I'll tell you that. We was in Lantana, Florida at the high school field getting ready. When I came to high school, I was like, I was supposed to leave these fields. But we had soup and crackers every day. That was our lunch, bro, Flo. That's how they roll with us.
Blake Butera is the new manager for the Washington Nationals. He's the youngest manager in the big leagues. He's 33 years old. There hasn't been a manager that young in the big leagues since the 70s. And that makes sense because there's a lot of young faces here in Nats camp.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Blake is, he's been a two-time minor league manager of the year. I think when you look at winning, he's going to bring a philosophy that where he understands what these guys are trying to get to. You have some guys that's been here a little bit. C.J. Abrams and James Woods. So these guys are tired of losing. They're ready to turn this thing around. You don't have to stay in the L column, that long when you have the talent they do.
And they've definitely have a big piece to build around in James Wood. These are the numbers for James Wood last season. The .256 average, but the 31 bombs, almost 100 RBIs, and an OPS plus of 132. Here with Nats outfielder James Wood. You just told me it has been very different so far from camp. I know you haven't been in a lot of big league camps, but how is this one different?
Yeah, it's just with a new group. Things are always going to be a little bit different, just how they operate and how they run things. But it's been a good camp. Guys have been super excited. Guys have been locked in, just putting work in. So,
for me, I'm looking at your numbers last night, and I kind of jumped in on the stolen base department. Stole 15 last year. I believe, and I told Roflo this, I believe you'd be 30-30. What was your goals coming to the season for you personally before we get to the team stuff?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a number I think I could get up. And we've had talks about it, and it's just, I feel like there's a lot of food being left on the table, offensively, defensively, on the bases. So I feel like we just want to make improvements on every one of those levels.
I wanted you to take a look at this. Is like a little mixtape here of, some of you. You're near the top in all the hard hit percentage, barrel rate. This is 116 plus off the bat. There's 114.
This is what I like. I like the balance you have. For me, that balance allows you to have double digits against lefties. So what, when you think about getting on that backside, is that called a negative move so you stay on your back? What is that called as far as your load from an analytical standpoint?
I don't know how analytical it is, but I just say I want to control the forward move. That's kind of how I say it.
Okay.
It kind of gets, I kind of struggle with it at times, but when I got it good,
you got it. So that pitch right there is one I think pitchers think they got you. That one that's middle away, and you have the leverage to be able to get through it and hit it foul pole to foul pole.
That's the one right there, Cliff, right?
Yeah.
With left center. Oppo pop.
We're going to go back 1 second.
All right.
Here. Now, for me, I'm thinking that ball's inside. He missed his spot. Well, that was middle, and you was able to stay inside it. Your bat path allows you to have this type of production.
Is this? Are you aware of all this? You've seen all this, the spray chart?
Yeah. We got the whole field for a reason, so I'm gonna just try my best to use all of it.
So what's the best, your best swing when you locked in? Where's that ball going 9 times out of 10? Left center?
The thing I like about Nats Park is we got those red seats in left center. So
you see that?
Yeah, that's the perfect target for me.
That wasn't my target.
You were Deadpool, right?
I was Deadpool. I saw seats to the right. If the fans got a souvenir, it's going to be to the right side.
Hey, James, we appreciate the time, man. It's always a lot of fun watching you at the plate and do your work. Best of luck to you and the Nats in 2026.
Dog, I forgot how big you are.
Appreciate you.
Here's a look at the numbers for the last 3 seasons for C.J. Abrams. He's still just 25 years old. First half of last season, the OPS was 836, but in the second half, it dropped down to 633. CJ, I know you're about to head into the cage. What do you typically work on, especially this time of year, in the cage?
In the cage, I'm just getting flips, staying through it, and kind of being on time. So it's timing and staying through it right now.
Are those the main kind of your focus points there when you're in there doing work?
Yep, and getting a good pitch to hit. It's kind of in the cage, kind of shrink the zone as much as you can and get a good pitch to drive.
What's camp been like under Blake?
It's been good. He tells us it's a clean slate. Whatever happened last year doesn't matter. We're here to win.
I was joking with you earlier. All these new faces, all these young kids. You're kind of like the old man around here, right?
Something like that. Something like that.
What has that been like, seeing all these new faces, all the young kids, things like that?
It's been good. Everybody's been working. You know, it's good vibes around here, and you know, like I said, we've just been getting good work in, ready to go.
What have you learned in your limited time in the big leagues? What is something that you have learned, maybe your most valuable lessons?
Probably staying with a routine so you can be more consistent. So I'm working on that a little bit as well, trying to get a routine that I can do every day to make sure I'm ready every single day.
For those of us that have not been in the big leagues, we always hear the importance of a routine. Why is a routine important?
It's just kind of your vitamins every day. You just gotta, you know, little things that get you ready for the game, whether that's hitting and defense, both of them. So just getting ready for the game.
Lastly, I read where you were talking about you being the subject of trade rumors, and Blake was like, hey, that just means someone wants you. But how do you set that aside and focus on what the task at hand in 26?
Yeah, just stay where your feet are. You know, whatever happens, happens. You just got to take care, like you said, the task at hand, and just stay where your feet are and present.
Well, we appreciate the time. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
You got it, man. Thank you very much.
Yep.
We're asking you on social media, which accomplishment is James Wood most likely to achieve in 2026? Cliff, what do you think?
I'm going to go with 30-30.
All
He
right.
stole 15 last year. Obviously, he's over 30 homers, so I'm going to go with that.
All right, we've got the results a little bit later in the show. Here's a look at the projected lineup for the Nats in 2026. They will likely have the youngest roster in the majors, with catcher 27-year-old Keber Ruiz likely to be the oldest player in the projected lineup. Earlier, we had a chance to catch up with center fielder Jacob Young. Jacob, there's a fresh new attitude, a lot of new faces. What has been the vibe so far in camp?
It's been great. Just a lot of energy. You know, a lot of open discussions. A lot of just talking about, you know, who we want to be and kind of how we want to play this game, and it's been a lot of fun.
You mentioned the swing change. Take us inside that. What are you trying to accomplish, and give us a little insight there.
Yeah, you know, just trying to, you know, hit less ground balls, try to drive the ball a little more. Finding different ways to get on base, you know, set up for those guys that can bring me home and try to create more chaos. So, you know, just try to hit more line drives and try to create more opportunities.
I love your first step. I love everything in the outfield when you get that first step. I mean, you are fearless. You take that, you know, you're taking that chance. Let's talk about that first step and how you kind of visualize that ball is coming to you every pitch.
Yeah, you know, I really want to take advantage of, you know, batting practice is the main way to do it, but I'm trying to, in batting practice, guess on where the guy's going to hit it and kind of take that first step in there and apply it to the game. You know, you can't, I more want to be moving, even if it's not in the perfect direction, I like to say, and as long as I'm moving, I think I have an advantage on anybody else.
What's your favorite catch that you've made so far in the big leagues?
I think that one against the Reds, Will Benson, the home run robbery was my number one.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, Will didn't like that.
No, Will's not a fan of that, but it was fun to see everyone's reaction at the time. It was awesome.
If you could pick, would you like to rob a home run to seal a victory, or a walk-off homer?
Oh, that's tough. I think robbing a home run is pretty cool. It just doesn't happen as often. You know, a lot of guys say walk-off home runs, but robbing a home run and taking that away from the other team, you know, they think they won it, and you stealing that moment's just the best feeling in the world.
See, when you are not defense-oriented like me,
Yeah.
I got to hit a homer. I ain't catching no ball with this. They won the game.
Hey, you either score runs or take runs away. One of the two.
Where did the pride in your defense and your defensive prowess? I mean, clearly there's natural ability there, but to excel in it the way you do, where does that come from?
Yeah, I was, you know, I taught from a kind of young age that, you know, it's a full game. It's not just hitting. It's not just offense. You know, you can win games on defense. And growing up as an infielder and a shortstop, like, you kind of take that role. And then as I got older and went to the outfield, I just realized that, you know, there's a lot of cool things you can do out there too. And it's something you can take pride in. And when you do take pride in it, people notice.
Take pride in your defense, Cliff.
Yeah, I know. I tried. Sometimes you're just not gifted. My last one for you is when you look at this team, athletic, you're kind of fearless, you're young still. How do you guys go out there and be aggressive, but also, you know, play under control and play smart?
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line. You know, I think there's that just being aggressive to be dumb is not really not going to get you very far. So it's just taking advantages, using the data that we have and our coaches have to kind of put us in spots to be aggressive, and then letting your instincts just take over. You know, just be fearless the best you can.
We'll get you out of here on this one. You have a new manager. He's one of the youngest. I think I read somewhere the youngest since the 1970s.
Yep.
What have been those conversations like? What's the interaction between you guys and Skip, considering there's not that big of an age difference?
Yeah, honestly, you don't really notice it. You know, he's still your manager. You know, you're still that thing, but it is nice to, you know, maybe be in more of a, like, you probably have the same, like, thoughts. You grew up in the same things more than maybe an older manager. So you're able to have maybe a couple more conversations about what's going on in the real world more than some older managers. But it's been a lot of fun. You know, his energy's great. He's out there with us every pitch. He's doing everything with us, and that's just fun to kind of have someone around that, you know, is doing everything.
Well, we appreciate the time. Best of luck to you and the Nats.
Thank you.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
In West Palm Beach, Florida, with the Washington Nationals, it's 30 clubs, 30 camps. According to MLB.com, the top prospects in the Nationals organization, it starts with the former #1 overall draft pick Eli Willett. Harry Ford, the catcher, was acquired in a trade with the Seattle Mariners. And don't forget, Gavin Fiend, who was also in Willett's draft class, he was acquired earlier this offseason from the Rangers. At one time, Dylan Cruz was a top prospect in the Nats organization. He's chatting with Cliff.
We're here with Nats right fielder Dylan Cruz, and I guess we'll start off with just your off season and getting yourself back in 2026.
Yeah, last year I had a little oblique injury, so I was out for probably a couple months, but we're trying to get as strong as possible to play 162, you know. The game's, it's at its best right now. Every single day you're facing somebody that's out there trying to take your lunch money, so you're going out there and you got to prepare yourself every day. So, but yeah, I'm learning every day with these guys. You know, we're a young team, but yeah, we're going out there and trying to win every game.
Before we chop it up in the cage a little bit, tell me one thing you've been kind of fine-tuning, whether you're tweaking something at the plate or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, I think this offseason, you know, one of my gifts is my legs, my lower half. So really just trying to, you know, start from the ground up. I'm trying to just make sure the foundation part of my swing is good and making sure I'm using the ground right. So I did a lot of work this offseason, using the ground, using my legs. So I feel good right now. I feel like I'm in a great spot, and I feel like I'm, you know, somewhat back to myself right now.
Let's chop it up in the cage a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
So did we in the cage, man? Give me that pregame routine that you trying to get yourself locked in, and whether when you're in the cage, whether it's drills, flipping on the tee, we got the tee here. Well, how would you start your tee session?
Yeah, so I mean, I start with tee. I'll go high tee, and then I'll do some walkthroughs just to kind of get some flow through it. Just trying to backspin some baseballs back to the back of the screen or right center. And then after some walkthroughs, I like to do some location stuff. So some low and aways.
Okay.
I'll go low and away. I'll go, you know, just trying to pepper second baseman.
Yeah.
And then I'll go a little higher just to kind of even it out. Again, trying to just go second base to right field.
Okay.
And then inside as well, I'll go low and in. With this, I'm just trying to go right back up the middle. Just trying to get a good backspin, you know, a little side spin too, even
kind
towards.
of visualize kind of how it's coming.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, like a sinker guy. Kind of imitates a sinker guy.
Okay.
And then same thing on this side. I'll go up and ins, and I like to call these the turn and burns. I'll go up and in, and I'm trying to
perfect that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit this one up in the air to left field.
Got it.
And then after that, I'll go into some flips.
Yeah. So when you're looking at the adjustment period at the big league level, what's the one thing where you're saying to yourself, these dudes just keep pounding here? Is it middle way? Is it in? Is it 0-0 pitches where they're trying to get you off your strengths? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, they're the best of the best. You know, they're always mix and match, and I think the important thing is for a hitter is to get your pitch, right? I mean, you know, it's very difficult for a guy to hit the same spot multiple times.
Right.
So I think for hitters, it's really toning in on that zone or what you're looking for, and if it's not there, don't swing. You know what I mean? That's kind of what my college coach used to always tell me. Yeah, I mean, I think having an idea of what the guy has and where you want it is huge, and if it's not there, then don't swing. So that's why I try to kind of have an approach against a top-level guy.
New manager, what's been his philosophy as far as y'all offensive? Is it speed and attack and get on base and cause havoc on the base paths? What's been his method?
Yeah, I mean, play aggressive baseball, play aggressive baseball, but smart baseball, and control what you can control. You know what I mean? I think that's huge. You know, controlling the strike zone from both sides of the plate, hitting and pitching. And, you know, when you do that, a lot of good things will happen. So they're really hammering that onto us right now.
Lastly, for me, as far as finding your guys' identity, every young team is trying to find that. What's going to be the key method for y'all this year? As you learning and still trying to put doves up, how do you guys go about that?
I mean, based off where we're at now, I think people think that we're in a rebuild, but we're going out there trying to win every single game, no matter what. And I think that's important for us. I think that's the identity that we need to have every day. And going out there, no matter who we got on our team, who's in our staff right now, we're going out there trying to win every single game, and I think that's our identity.
No doubt. Hey, have a great year. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
A lot of comings and goings under Paul Taboni, the new president of baseball operations and general manager, coming over to the Nats this offseason. Miles Michaelis, after spending all those years with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Harry Ford, the catcher prospect acquired from the Mariners. It's the manager interview presented by Sage. Here with the Nats manager, Blake Butera. Congratulations on the gig. Let me ask you something, because I talked with a couple of players, unnamed players, and so far they said the camp is great, the enthusiasm is great, everyone, and this is a quote, is pulling in the same direction. The front office staff is out here. I mean, so far it's rave reviews from the couple of players that I talked with. I imagine that has to make you feel good.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. It's early in camp and everyone's playing well right now, and we're not in the middle of the summer yet. But good to hear the vibes are good, and just been an awesome camp so far, and good to be around these guys.
Bro, Flo, I dove in deep. I actually worked last night. I did a little work, and I saw two-time manager of the year in the minor leagues. But not but not like just winning it. It was like you were 40 games over 500. So you had a philosophy that worked in the minors that allowed you to kind of like get guys on the same page consistently. How are you going to take that and then hopefully bring it to these boys up here?
Yeah, I mean, first, it was really good players. And I think players make coaches and managers look good. But behind that, like, a lot of it's just making sure these players know, like, we care about them, right? And it's like we understand how hard this game is, and we're going to be in their corner every step along the way. I think when players feel like the staff has their back, it kind of helps them play a little bit better, at least in my impression. And that's a big thing of what we want to establish here. Is like we're in their corner. Like we understand how hard this is, but we're always going to be in their corner every step along the way.
When you look at your infield and you look at CJ and how he's coming to camp, is he the guy that gets this team over the hump? Is he the guy that you're relying on to be that police? That guy that police the clubhouse and make sure everybody's on the same page every night. Yeah,
CJ, I mean, just talking about him excites me. He was here well before he had to be for early camp, and it just seems super hungry and motivated. He wants to be an all-star every year. He wants to be MVP of the league. He wants to be, when you guys are going over the top 10 shortstops in baseball, he wants to be on that list.
Yeah.
He's hungry, and he
should be on that list.
Exactly. He's got all the talent in the world, and man, just seeing him out here every day working on his defense early, working on his hitting, stealing a base the other day in the game, in a spring training game in February.
You don't see it.
That just shows he cares and he's trying to get better. Not just at hitting, like he's working on the small things. He's working on the defense. He's working on the base running. Like he wants to be a complete player because he knows he has those tools. Right? Now it's just about learning how to use them.
Finally, I know you have a jam-packed schedule and you're getting ready day by day, getting ready for the season. But have you allowed yourself to imagine what that opening day is going to be like when you're full uni, we're standing on the first or third base line for that opening day and the anthem is about to play as a big league manager?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent as much time as I probably should have thinking about that, just because I want to make sure that we're ready to roll and we're ready to compete day one. But no, I think you mentioned it, like taking a step back and just realizing, how fortunate I am and trying to pinch myself and realize, we're in big league camp right now. We have an opportunity to go out there and opening day in Wrigley Field, you can't write it better. And just really fired up for these guys that experienced that, the players, the coaches, our front office. They put in a ton of work, and I just want to make sure that when we get to that day that we're ready to roll.
Well, best of luck to you and the Nats. We appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Have a good year.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Earlier on social media, we asked you which accomplishment is James Wood most likely to achieve in 2026. The answer? 46.1% of you that voted believe a 30-30 season is most likely for James Wood. All right, let's wrap things up here at Nats camp. Couple of things. Blake Butera says catcher and first base. Those are the position battles he has his eye on. And Cliff, he couldn't say enough nice things and good things to say about C.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I think the one thing I love is he's, the maturity and then talking about getting to camp early than everybody else and understanding the responsibility and accountability that comes with if you want to win, this is what it's going to take. So Blake has a lot ahead of him to try to get this roster situated. But I think the big thing is if you can have a CJ police this clubhouse and allow them to go out there and just play the game, I think you'll see a different Nats team this year.
That's going to do it from West Palm Beach, Florida. For Cliff Floyd, for our amazing team behind the camera and scenes, I'm Robert Flores. Thanks for watching.